I had barely any knowledge of how to conduct police work outside of playing cops and robbers as a kid with my best friend Johnny in our backyard after school. I'm not quite sure what captured my attention more, the $10.50 an hour promotion of the job on the campus lawn, or the challenge of trying something new that excited me. I was 24 years old in a college town, and all I had been known to do prior to accepting my job as auxiliary officer was smoking blunts and making music that I would shop around town to all the local stoners and college kids. Good.
I was gonna wake up 30 minutes earlier every morning to just like yeah. And I did it sometimes, but definitely not every day. Yeah. And
Hey guys, it's your boy Cornelio here, executive producer, Aarao Cornelio Jr. And I just want to briefly talk to all you communications majors, you broadcast journalist majors, you video productions majors. This one is only for you. A long time ago, when cleanliness still was next to godliness, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in neighborhoods like this, right? It used to be safe enough for you to lay on the ground and not worry about catching hoopaglymanoopadoopidius. What's that? I don't know if it's the new variant or the next one coming out, but you, me, I don't believe anybody wants to catch haloopadoopadoopius. But if you're filming a movie and you're down to get shots like tetanus shots and all the new shots that come out and you're not afraid of shots like intravenous shots, then you might not catch a hoopaglypadoopius because we live in Oakland, PA. All right, so when you lay down like this on the ground, okay, you can wear gloves, you may not wear gloves, whatever you do, right? First off, I want to say thank you to Pitt University for having some of the cleanest sidewalks, because I probably wouldn't be doing this in some dirty neighborhood like the Hill District, okay? But sometimes you may see me on the south side laying on my stomach with my camera out like this, except facing the opposite direction, because when I show you, even now, like watch, when I go like that, it's you can get a view like unlike this one. If I'm like this, you notice how it's like a little bit different. You're gonna get like from the waist up right here, and from here you're probably gonna get the stomach up, and you know, it also, you get better long range shots. Okay, so this is for video camera producers, not dangerous people. But I'm about to film a scene of this bench right here for my movie Think Like a Cop, and it's coming out near you. Independent film. Okay, we're not going Hollywood. But mostly to end up being a play, and it's going to be presented to you by me, the executive producer, the screenwriter, okay, and my group, my drama club. You ready for this? Drum roll, please. The Young Fellows Drama Club, okay, which is a multicultural drama club full of white people, black people, anybody who wants to act. Okay, ready? Here we go. Action.
Good, how are you? Thank you, I made it myself.
Action. Although this was only a temporary job that I had for about 4 months, it was a job that I had and a tremendous effect on my life. One that will be a lasting memory for the rest of my life. I was living with my lady Lay from Brooklyn. She was attending a school in PA not far from where I grew up, so I linked up with her because I never really experienced a college love before. Plus, I was itching to get out of my mother's crib after things didn't work out trying to get my record deal in New York City. Meanwhile, on Security Channel. Officer Cornelio was explaining to us some of his inspiration that caused him to become a forensics officer and more than just a security officer. When it all started back on a Happy Valley day, when he decided to be a university police officer, auxiliary officer, when he began slowly but surely, little by little, instead of thinking like a little stoner boy, thinking like a cop. Action. I had barely any knowledge. Pause. So just to teach you a little bit of what I picked up from acting, because I don't know everything about acting. I'm still, perfecting slowly my thespian hood or whatever, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna use this script to pretend like it's actually my home, or like some manual or something. You'll see I'll improv along, but that's a good way. It's like, how can I, I was thinking just a minute ago, maybe if I leave my script over here and try to read it, it's going to be too far to read from a distance. The wind is blowing, could blow it away. So I'm just going to pretend like it's either my homework or maybe like it's my employee handbook at which is a better idea, either university police or the other job that I had at the diner. All right, ready? Action. Man, this job really, I don't know if it's cut out for me. Oh man, what? This sounds like I'm gonna be a cop or something, man. Like, yo, I thought this job was like to be like something else. Like, I don't know, man. Oh well, I guess I already filled out the application. Okay, haircut, psychological test, background test. I think I could pass all of those. Okay, be there Monday. All right, cool. I don't know if I'm gonna be cut out for this shit. But you know what? This might actually be pretty cool.
You got time, dude. It's good.
Well, it's getting late.
I don't know. Maybe it's not the kind of. Have you been watching it? I mean, I know you said you've obviously been doing a bunch of work and stuff. Have you watched any shows recently, though?
Better head back to the point now. Lieutenant's probably cooking something for me. Okay, so that felt kind of cheesy a little bit. I'm gonna try one more from a different perspective. Let me try it in let me see. Oh yeah, without the script. Try a different take. Action. Man, this time is boring as fuck. Where's all the women at? Probably shouldn't say that, man. Lieutenant probably got some friends out here. I wonder where the dance club is at. You know what? I've been here for a long ass time. You know what? I think Lieutenant's probably right, man. Maybe I should just enroll at this school. I already got a job, so I think I'll talk to her about it a little later. I don't know. Give it some thought when I get to the crib. Well, I'll be caught here after dark. I don't know if the clan's around here, but I'm out of here. So I got to know the campus. So at some point she was like, started going to class. When we started dating, I think she was on break or something. But then later on, like she was back from break. She started going to class. So she was like, yo, so you could do what you want to do. You could like kind of like stay at the apartment, or you could get a job, or you can kind of do whatever. So that's whenever I was like, fuck it, let me just get a job. So that's when I was walking through campus and I saw Old Main, and I saw that sign that said, do you want to make $10.25 doing something for your community? The University of Police job that I took. So, that's sort of like, my initial first experiences there, being there, like on the rapport of a girlfriend instead of being there visiting a family member. So while I was there, I got a job at this place called the Diner. I was working as a line cook, and then I moved up to a prep cook, and then Orchid was born, so I quit my job and I left State College, and I had to break it to the news, not when I left back home, but when I came back to State College, to Lieutenant, that I was cheating on her with a chick, quote unquote, named Honey. At the same time, I was also working at University Police of Penn State. So I was working at the Diner and University Police of Penn State at the same time, and I had to quit both jobs so I could come to find out that potentially I could be a father. So walking through that little area right there in between Litchfield and Barco, I didn't actually expect to see this thing right here. Like, I've seen it before in passing, but I usually don't like stop here and chill, because I reserve this place for people who actually paid money to go to this school full time, and not like me, who goes to Pitt online via Coursera and other schools. You know what I'm saying? At the same time. So usually whenever I pass through, I might pass through from Bouquet, walk through here without turning and entering this building, or come in here and eating lunch with these people, or doing anything too much of staying right here. Not because, like, it's cool to pass through, but to stop and stay, it's mostly for, I don't want to be confused as somebody thinking that, I go to school here full time. All right. But anyhow, I seen this right here, and it kind of looks like the Diner, the old restaurant that I used to work at, home of the sticky buns. So I'm about to actually act out just real quick a scenario, and it goes a little something like this. Action. All right, so this is improv. I'm on my phone. A family member calls me. Now, this actually happened when I was in the restaurant, okay? But obviously I can't go in there, so I'm gonna act it out, just standing here. But I got this call in real life inside the restaurant. I'm making food, my phone rings in my pocket, I answer my phone, it's my family member. Hey, guess what? The baby's here, what are you gonna do? Type style. So I got the news, all right? So I'm about to act that out right now. Yeah, it's me. What's going on? No, I'm at work right now. Like, I could take a break and talk right now. I stepped outside, but what's good? Oh my God, yo, the baby's here? Already? No, I'm coming. Just let me tell my boss something. I gotta quit or something. I don't know. Just like, I'll call you when I get home. All right. Talk to you later.
Shit, sorry.
Nah, that's cool. All right, cut.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you get the idea. It doesn't have to be perfect. The most important part is, even though some of those lines were okay and some of those lines, probably I might not use them, lip syncing works wonders, even these days. Some people think kung fu movies were the only movies where people lip sync. A lot of improv is done in movies where, the script is something that it takes a while for you to actually visualize what you're going to act out on the scene, on the camera. So what you do is you just audio dub. So I could just literally click mute on everything that I just did or certain parts and just fill it in when I go in the podcast booth with different words that will fit what my mouth displays I'm saying. All right, see you next scene. Action. Now let me clarify first what an auxiliary police officer is. Yes, to my knowledge, an auxiliary police officer can be trained to do undercover work, but they also have the option to promote to campus officer, then police officer, if they advance through several levels of education and training and graduate the entry-level ranks. But I did not work there long enough to be more than what was basically used for traffic duty and something like security work. I never wore a wire or testified in court against any defendant based on information that one would collect as a detective. And by no means, if you ask me, was I a snitch. In fact, I was not even the likes of a rookie. I was an amateur and acted like it in every manner. I treated the job like it was a joke, and I did not respect the authority I was given, nor the authority that I later had to answer to. In fact, to this day, I rarely remember what the entire experience was like, other than walking the beat with my partner, which was the campus. I was on the verge of breaking up with the lieutenant for a chick back home who I thought I impregnated, but it turned out to be another's baby. Nevertheless, I would pull myself together every morning to drag myself out of bed at 8 a.m. just to hurry to campus to clock in and begin walking the beat with my partner. Being one of the few black officers, I felt out of place, though the job did bring a sense of pride. For once I had something good to talk about my life at the dinner table. But rewind my life 10 years earlier and asked me did I ever see myself being a cop, I would have answered hell no. So, in my experience filming independent videos or films, which is not very extensive, you don't have to shoot everything in sequence. You can go back and put it later, part by part, so you can skip forward to maybe scene 5, even if you're still not having got to scene 2 yet. And then you can come back and shoot scene 2 or film scene 2 whenever you find somebody to fill the role or when you feel more inspired. So right now I'm going to fast forward to, because I have my trusty drill on my side. For those who don't understand symbolic logic, I kind of look like, you can't like say that I look like a cop, obviously, since I look like a construction worker and et cetera, et cetera. But with this on your side, it does kind of put you in the mindset of I have something on my side. And with this on my head, it does put me in the mindset, okay, I better be acting accordingly because, I'm geared for work. So it does put you in the mentality of you're geared for something and you could pretend. Now, obviously, I'm not going to pull it out and wave it around like it's a pistol or something. But, it just, you get into your mindset, right? All right, so now I'm just gonna literally walk up the set of steps right here, and just obviously I don't have somebody beside me to play the role of my partner, but I could actually play both roles. You know what I mean? For now, and then later somebody will fill it in. In fact, I might actually do that to show you something cool that I watched being done on Instagram. Like, I'm talking to you now. You can't see me, okay? Kind of like that. All right, ready? Action. So what I'm actually gonna do is the first take, I'm gonna show you what it would be like if you saw me being trained by my training officer or my upline officer walking beside me, okay? Because when you get partnered up as an auxiliary police officer with another auxiliary police officer, they're more experienced than you because they're telling you, how to patrol the campus, which is what my job was, patrolling the campus on foot, okay? And then the next take, you're gonna see me talking to my training officer or my upline officer, which would either be somebody who's an auxiliary police officer also, but more experienced, longer, about to become a campus officer, or legitimately a campus officer until you pass through the probation period, which I did, and then you get paired with somebody more your speed. Action. Yeah, I'm hungry too. But what did you say your name was again? Cornelio. We got to get it. So listen, we take lunch break in about 2 hours. So I'm just gonna, just point out where stuff is, and just point out what, our superior officer would have us do. And you just, hang loose. There's people that are probably gonna say stuff to you to make fun of you, call you flashlight cop or whatever. Just don't pay attention to them or you can possibly lose them. Okay, so this blue building right here is called, okay, that's where the dean's office is at. In case you didn't know, the dean's Gramps man. Okay. So our job today and for the until you get used to patrolling the campus with me, is mostly when we begin, if you have day shift, you're going to patrol Old Man Lawn. And then they might have us go over there and patrol right in front of the hub road. We call it the hub for Cut. This is Think Like a Cop, written by Aarao Cornelio Jr., an independent film that I'm using for school. If anybody is walking about and doesn't like to be in this video, then you're welcome to walk around, or just politely tell me, hey, can you scrap that? And I'll stop it and scrap it. Start again. All right, action. I never remember having good memories of cops as a kid. And suddenly, here I am in a room full of cops sweating bullets as they began showing me the ropes and training me to be one of them. I used to say to my girlfriend, Lieutenant, I'm only doing this because of you. And I even remember telling my madre the same thing when I would call home from school. I was very emotionally abusive in that manner, and to them I owe my sincere apologies. Because in all honesty, it was my own curiosity and desire that made me apply for the job. No one held a gun to my face and said, apply for this job or else. So I was in the wrong for blaming others for my unpleasant situation, but I did. So it's actually pretty funny that I'm here in front of Barco, the law building, because when I first came up here, I filmed a video called When Your Idols Become Idle. I remember having my security shirt on and my walkie-talkie and rhyming in front of here, from this direction, and rhyming right here when it started raining, etc. So, quite similar to this building, the Barco Law Building, at University Police of Penn State, when I was an auxiliary police officer, our main office was actually, I don't know if it was attached to the law building, but it was something like a law building. It was called Shields. And so I'm gonna actually set the camera right here and act out what I was just talking about over there in the last line when I said, what did I say? You know, just basically talking about my memories of police officers as a kid.